Okay, so today we're talking about the new home purchase, and by new I mean it's newly constructed, so you have a contract with a builder who is building the house to you. Obviously this is a very exciting purchase for people who get a home instead of a home somebody else has lived in. They get to build a home that's constructed on their behalf. However, there are problems and concerns with respect to this, and we're going to go through some of these, and we learned about how a basic resale home transaction works. There are some additional concerns, and I'm going to go through those today. So we're concerned first about the agreement of purchase and sale. It's not the standard Form 100 because you're actually contracting to build the entire property from scratch, and as the textbook discusses, there are concerns that the builder has with respect to labor shortages, delays, and the big thing in a new home purchase is, a newly constructed home is, it almost never closes on the date that's set for closing. This becomes a big problem for purchasers when the closing is extended a number of times, and they're very frustrated with this process. But it's for builders because of labor schedules and the way construction works is very few projects actually close on the date that's agreed to for the closing. So we're going to go into those extensions on closing and how they're extended later in the lecture. We're going to talk about extensions. We're going to talk about what the meaning of substantially complete is, because the builder only has to give you a property that's substantially complete. Hidden extras in the agreement of purchase and sale. Closing, obviously, what happens on the closing, searches and things. We're also going to talk about the Tarion warranty program. This is the Ontario government warranty program for new homes. And there's a quiz which I'm putting up on Kia for today's class that you can do online, and I'll put the link up on Blackboard. Okay, so I have two people who are buying a new home. They signed an agreement to buy the newly constructed home. It's a contract with the builder. Its purchase price is $560,000. They sign that contract. The agreement date is April 1st, 2010. They give a deposit of $40,000, and it's paid in a series of installments that are set out in the agreement. And the closing is actually scheduled for not till October 2010. So most new homes haven't commenced in construction yet, and often people go and see a proposed subdivision, and it's a cornfield with an builder's office in it, and the agreements are negotiated there with the builder's sales reps, and there'll be sort of designs to choose from. They'll look at floor plans. Sometimes they build model homes that they can walk through and see what the homes are going to look like, and they negotiate things like upgrades, additional more expensive cabinetry and appliances and things like that as part of the agreement. But the closing is a long way off. It can be, often over a year away before the closing takes place, and so there's a long waiting period. Okay, September 1st, they get a letter from the builder extending the closing until December 15th. As we said, this isn't uncommon because of delays in construction and just the nature of the construction industry. Few things close on time. Later on, the builder informs them that they don't have the pink Tuscan marble that was supposed to be used for the front portico, but they're going to use a similar marble imported from Turkey. They close on December 10th. When they move in, they don't have a driveway. It's just mud. The driveway has not been put in yet. And there's a reason for that. It takes time for the property to settle. And if they put the driveway in too soon, driveway will have settlement cracks, and it won't look very nice. So the driveway tends to be something that is put in after closing. Oops, I've messed up here. There's also no sod, so there's no grass down because it's December. They haven't built the outside decks yet that were supposed to be constructed with this property. This one particular model of house came with a deck. Builder says, don't worry about this. This will be done in the spring because of weather considerations. They're not going to do these things in settlement. They're not going to do them until the springtime. Okay. Sandra noticed in January some of her windows tend to stick and they need to be reinstalled because they're not installed properly. The contractor usually hires subcontractors that'll do a lot of houses, and often they go through quickly and they don't necessarily do the perfect work. So there are things like this that happen when you're purchasing a new home. There are defects. They also have some questions for the lawyer. So they looked over the statement of adjustments, and they didn't really pay attention when they signed up the deal, but afterward, when they got their reporting letter and copy of the statement of adjustments, they want to know, why do they pay extra for a water meter installation, $400 to hook up the hydro, $600 for a driveway, and then $200 for something called a tree planting fee. This is the money that you have to pay to have the city come out and plant a tree in front of your house, and the builder has to pay this to the city, and the city comes in and pays for this. So these are on the statement of adjustments as credits to the vendor. Okay. So the question is, what do we tell them about this entire situation? Well, the builder is entitled to extend the closing. They have to do it. They have to give you so many days' notice, which we're going to go into later, and they have to do it in the proper form. They'll send it by registered letter, but they are entitled to extend the closing because of very few properties actually close on time. It's more of an estimate, the closing date. They are allowed to substitute materials if they look through their agreement, their builder's agreement with the builder, and each builder has their own agreement. You'll find that there's a clause in there about substitution. They can put in things of similar or better quality, but it can't be lesser quality. So they substituted one type of pink marble for another type of pink marble. It's not exactly the same as what they contracted for. Extra charges, the additional charges were scattered throughout the original agreement of purchase and sale. And the work not completed on closing, they only have to deliver a property that is substantially complete. So there's always work that has to be done. The house will have to be fit for human occupation. The city will have to issue an occupancy permit to say that they can move into the property. But